Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
All right, Martin. Man, you stayed patient and you got the fight you wanted, man. Was the waiting process painful? Be honest.
Look, it's been a long road coming, long road ahead still to go. But the fight that we wanted, we got it, and so now it's just all about going there and performing and taking what's ours.
Before we get into your opponent, you went out to Killcliff, I believe, late last year to get into a training camp, but a fight never actually happened. So you trained and you worked on your skills. You know what I mean? How disappointing was that? Because I know you went out there with the mindset of like, hey, I'm gonna fight at the end of this trip, but it just never happened.
Yeah. So when I re-signed with One Championship, it's probably a miscommunication or whatever, but I was meant to give him a date that I wanted to fight, and so obviously the opponent it was only one person in mind. There was so many people calling me out. I could have taken another route, but I felt that Garry Tonon was the right route. And I came here, was September, October, November. I was here November, sorry, November, the whole of November, the whole of December. I will meant to fight November 4th, I assume. But yeah, just I don't know what happened or who's at fault or whatever. The fight fell through, and I did 8 weeks here preparing for him. But as I said, during that 8 weeks, like the longer you leave this fight, the more of a problem it's going to be for you. And Garry said that they had offered him other opponents and he declined and whatnot. So now I have two specific camps for Garry Tonon, and I feel that I'm more dangerous than ever now. Going back-to-back camps, working with the Burns brothers, Herbert Burns a lot, to anti-jiu-jitsu Garry Tonon and ultimately knock him out.
Yeah. I saw some clips, some videos of you working with Herbert Burns, and there's other grapplers at the gym as well. Did they kind of say like, okay, you need to work with these particular guys because these are the guys that are going to help you prepare for Garry Tonon?
Yeah. Gary's a high level, very, very high level, grappling guy. And for someone that competes on a grappling scene, I feel that there's no one that would match his grappling style at the gym. But in terms of MMA grappling and MMA jiu-jitsu in general, I feel that Herbert Burns is much, much better than what Garry is. Um, and Herbert does not get the credit that he deserves. He is like another level when it comes to MMA grappling, MMA jiu-jitsu in general. And so he's helped me prepare for obviously two camps now. This one was a bit of a shorter one, but all in total of 14 weeks or so. He's helped me out. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go out there and do him proud, man.
How has it been putting yourself in those like tough submission positions and getting yourself out, man? Because it's not easy, man. Some of those positions are very, very dangerous.
Of course, of course. Obviously, Gary's everyone knows that Gary's leg lock game is, that's what they're known for, him going for the leg locks. Not only have I only been focusing on the legs, so I respect Garry overall as a jiu-jitsu guy. So I've been respectively working on my jiu-jitsu overall. So whether it comes to the back taking, being on the bottom, being cautious, being on top, working my leg lock defenses, working my guillotine defenses, arm triangle, Kimura defenses. Everything has to be on point when it comes to fighting Garry because you slip once and the night is over when it comes to someone like him. So we made sure we're taking care of everything in that grappling department. And rest not assured, like obviously it had been a wrestling and a jiu-jitsu camp, but I have not let go of my striking abilities. So we've been working on that a lot too.
Oh, of course, man. That gym
Yeah.
is like a striker's gym in some ways, right? The head coach, Henry Hoof, he's striking background, but also like Ong, it seems like he's kind of become like your assistant coach in some ways. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
an assistant
You
coach,
know
right?
what? He's he basically is my assistant coach, and he's a huge mentor when it comes to my career. Me and him have similarities in the paths that we want to take in order to get back our titles and get back into title contentions. We're both one fight away from doing that, and so he's specifically. There was some partners that where every time I come here, those are my guys, like Sean Sariana, Til Tang, all those guys are there. They're always there to help me. I wasn't allowed to train with any of them. I had to train with all the Russians in the gym. I had to train with Herbert. We've got Roberto Jimenez in the gym. We've got Sydney Outlaw. All these grappling guys that are like grappling heavy. Um, yeah, I had to go with them, man. And I just throw myself into the deep end. My cardio is on point, movement's on point. I'm stronger. I'm faster. It's probably one of the best camps that I've had. Touche. Every camp is usually like that, but right now I feel like
And when you look at Gary's striking, right, it has developed throughout the years. It's not like to the point of somebody that started off striking, but it's still better than it was. How do you assess it?
look, he's not no striking specialist. That's for sure. But I know his plan. Look, I really had to sit down and kind of I don't know, kind of humble myself and give him the respect that he deserves. But Gary is not obviously a well-rounded striker, but he uses that striking to his advantage in order to uh, get that next stage of the fight in his favor, right? Which is going to the ground. So he would throw the most stupidest shit out there, the most unorthodox, awkward shit out there, staying protected at the same time in order to just get a hold of you. That's his plan, right? Just to get a hold of you. He can pull down, he can grab your leg, he can pull guard. That's his style. Like he's comfortable. He can do that he can do that blindfolded. And so we got to respect that obviously as well. We got to make sure our guard's tight and yeah, just go out there and punish him
Do you
for his
know?
mistakes.
Do you know if it's gonna be a cage or a ring?
It's definitely a ring. This one.
Okay, okay, all right.
That's my forte, man. I love that, man. I love the ring. I'm 2-0 in the ring right now, so I'm planning to make it 3-0.
Yeah, yeah. The ring is it's phenomenal. Yeah. So like with this one, man, I know you have the knockout in mind, but there's other scenarios, right, in your mind as well. Do you see other outcomes?
Yes, so worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario is gonna be the most boringest fight. Um, and it's gonna probably go to the decision, heading my way. Just gonna stay busy, stay disciplined is the main thing. Not get overzealous and not overconfident in everything because Gary can capitalize on the most stupidest shit. So I just gotta go out there, be disciplined, um, be in the right state of mind when I go in there, and just take what's mine.
Did they tell you it's number one contender?
Yeah, the winner of this fight gets a title shot.
Okay, so it lines up
Yeah,
perfectly for the
it's
March.
all on the line, man.
Yeah.
That's all on the line, man. That's it.
So
That's how I see it.
March 1st in Qatar, we got the rematch happening between Tang Kai and Ton Lee, unifying the title. What's interesting about that fight, man? It's a rematch. We seen the first one; they went all 5 rounds. I'm expecting some good, good exchanges, and I think someone's gonna finish someone. What do you see?
I see Tan Lee walking out, winning the fight. That first fight, he kind of slipped up, and Tenkai played it safe, and did what he needed to do to win that title. Now, if Tenkai was smart, he'll probably come out and do the same thing, frustrate Tan Lee, make him frustrated, make him kind of push everything and push the pace and get caught while doing it. But I feel that Tan Lee is much smarter in this second approach now. He's got more tools than what Tenkai has shown, and so I feel that if I was to pick a winner, obviously I want the Vietnamese people to win, man. So Tan Lee's the guy, and if I win, then the stars align to give the fans what they want.
Would you prefer that? Would you prefer the Ton Lee rematch for the title?
Yeah, I want Tan Lee to win, man. In general, so if I want him to win,
Yeah.
and obviously I see myself winning, then that rematch is it's there.
Yeah, it is, man. It's almost like you said, it's aligning in that way. You fight end of January, they fight 1st of March. What other options do you have?
May.
May. Okay. May.
May, that's it. That's all I'm looking at.
All right. Sounds good, man. And
Yeah, I want to stay. I want to try to stay as busy as possible next year, um, regardless of who I fight. But obviously, my aim and my goal and my mindset is on that title. And whoever has that title, obviously, if they come out right in that March fight, then we have a whole 8 weeks to prepare for May. You know, so I really, really want that fight and go from there.
yeah, for sure. And you know, Chatri said it himself. I believe that, and you know, MMA will be more of a focus this year, and that was probably, you know, music to your ears, man. Because last year you only fought once.
Dude, it's been honestly, it's been 11 months since I fought, and so this is the longest I've been inactive in my whole career. Usually I'm up every 6 months or whatever, and look, to be honest, to be fair as well, they did offer me fights, um, but I said that I was not available. So in May or June, I was meant to rematch Shamil for falling out. I couldn't do that fight because I had a family holiday booked, yeah, 18 months in advance. And so I had to kind of sit that one out, and Gary took that fight instead. And so that was meant to be my fight, but I said to him, yes, I will be ready in November. And one person saying one thing, another person saying another. I don't want to get too mixed up. The fight's already done now, and yeah, that fight in November fell through. But yeah, we're here now.
Yes, and you're going to Japan. Phenomenal place to fight. Sage Northcutt is returning as well against Shinya Aoki. I guess it's Shinya Aoki's last fight. Man, Sage Northcutt, ever since he came back, everybody in the lightweight division wants to fight him. You know, what I mean, because he's Sage Northcutt, right? He's just the guy, I
Yeah,
guess.
he's the big draw.
Yeah, he
He's that
is.
big draw in that division. Yeah.
And
I feel that you know, fighting in Japan has been a long life dream of mine. Obviously career, obviously fighting in Australia, fighting in Japan. Something about Japan, it's just you have to fight there, and so I'll have the opportunity to fight out there. Thank you to One Championship. But yeah, that fighting on the same card as Shinya again. Shinya, what is he cracking 40 now? 40s, and he's still fighting. Um, look, MMA side of things, how he fought last against Sexyama. Oh man, I don't know. I feel that Sage is just that draw right now in that division, and everyone wants to see. Well, I want to see anyway, like Christian versus Sage. But yeah, we'll see what the champ does, and if that fight ever happens. I feel that if Sage wins this next fight, then he's somewhat in line to get that shot
in the
or
mix.
fight like one of the top. Yeah, in the mix now. Like there's either is that Dougie, Halil,
Yeah,
or Sage,
yeah,
like one of the three, right?
yeah. Man, Sage, I don't. Do you think he's ready to fight him now? Christian Lee? Like
Who?
Christian Lee, man,
Christian Lee?
he's a beast. He's been out for a while, but
Dude,
man, we've seen him do some things.
from what I've heard, this is just speculations. Christian's pushing 200 pounds, man. Like he's big right now, and so I feel that he's gonna defend the welterweight title first, and then come back down to the lightweight division. And so yeah, Christian's all time one of my favorite fighters. Obviously, fighting him as well and watching him grow as a fighter, as a father. You know, people have different visions when of what like what type of fighter they want to become, and he's obviously got a family now, and everything's fighting for the family, and so um, I can relate to that, man. And just watching him grow as an athlete, and beating all these guys that like he was like touted to lose against, and yeah, coming out on top. Good on him, man.
Yeah, man, phenomenal career so far. And you never know, man. Like you said, Christian Lee is pushing 200. Maybe he might not even go to lightweight again, and he'll just like leave it and just start his new adventure at welterweight.
I feel lightweight is where he's most dominant, and it's like your bread and butter. It's something you have in your back pocket. But um, I definitely feel that he's going to be back there for sure, for sure.
All right, then.
30 pounds, man. You're gonna drop 30 pounds. That's like almost 15 kilos.
Yes, that's rough, man. Rough.
That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. That's a lot.
And
But I just heard down the grapevine anyway.
yeah. Well, they got a young brother too that's even bigger than Christian coming through. So you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, little big brother.
yeah, a little bit.
Hey, whatever their dad's feeding those two,
Yeah,
man, I want some.
yeah,
I want some.
the Hawaiian water. And and man, Rodtang is out, man. I guess he's out, and Superlek is in against Takeru. What did you think of? Does that put a big hit on the card, or do you feel like this is a better matchup?
This is definitely a better matchup. I feel that One Championship wanted this match to happen from the get go, but just didn't want to give Takeru the title shot straight away. Obviously, want him to have at least one fight first in the company. Rod Tang would have been the best fight, but even at that press conference, you seen his left hand was in a cast, and all the speculations leading up to it, and he did have surgery. We did speak to him, and yeah, he did have surgery on it, and I feel that Superlek was a much better fight for someone like Takeru to step into the organization. Should it be a world title shot? Yeah, Superlek. No, sorry, Takeru is one of the best in the world when it comes to kickboxing. Um, should have been a title shot. I mean, I'm all for it. I like to see that fight against Superlek for sure.
You will see that fight, right? You'll see it live.
Damn, man, I'm gonna be there live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there live. What am I on about?
To be honest, it's like one of the best kickboxing matchups. I mean, in recent history, is Superlek versus Takeru, right?
Yeah, I haven't really. I'll be straight up honest with you, man. I never knew of Takeru until he signed with One Championship. Honestly, I'll be straight up
Yo, a
honest with
lot
you.
of people said that to me.
Um,
Don't be mad. A lot
uh,
of people said that to me.
who's the other one? The other one that was a kickboxer and he went to boxing. That's the one that I was
Tension.
following.
Yeah,
Tenshin, that's the one that fought
yeah,
Rotang,
yeah.
right? So Tenshin was the one. I thought it was Tenshin that signed
Oh, okay.
with One Championship. I'm like, oh, he came over, but now he's doing boxing, and I was like, oh man,
But you've seen Superlek fight a lot, so you know what I mean. Like you understand like what type of talent that guy has.
man, if he makes weight, then that's like one thing off the platter, you know.
Exactly.
I feel that, yeah, and on weight, Super Lek is like another level. I feel like, man, he's missed out on what, two bonuses now?
Yeah.
That's 100K, man. That's a lot of money right there. I feel like he's going to be much more hungrier when it comes to defending his title. You don't want to lose the title before, jumping on the scales
Oh,
before the fight even happens. So, yeah, that first things first, he has to make weight and go from there.
for sure, man. It's gonna be a crazy night in
Mm.
Japan. And one last thing, man, I wanted to ask you about is Bibiano Fernandez. He recently separated ways with One Championship. What do you think of his
Yeah, I've
legacy
seen that.
with the organization? Do you feel like he's, maybe number one on the list of champions or top three? Where do you see him as?
Pound for pound, the best in One Championship, the best champion that they've had for sure. So what is it, 13, 11 defenses
Yeah,
he had?
something crazy.
Something like that, yeah. 11, I think it was DJ with 13,
Yeah.
right? I'm getting them both mixed up, yeah. But Bibiano, most dominant champion for sure. Regardless of his age, he's still pushing and to fight him. Man, it was just one of those ones for me that it's just, man, it was my fault. I just take it on the chin and go on from there. But Bibiano's all around great guy, great family man, and yeah, it's sad to see him go, but I felt like they just didn't keep him busy for his liking, and so that's probably why he moved on, or they didn't want us to resign him. He's not that much a big of a draw, I'd see, but yeah, whatever, man. I wish him all the best. He's opened up his new gym, and he's doing well. So,
You fought him. How did that fight impact you?
man, I'm still cut to this day. I'm so stupid. I have no skills back then, and I ran a split decision against one of the most dominant guys ever. I felt like me getting dropped in that last round swayed it his way, which was the last for 40 seconds or whatever it was. And it is what it is, man. Like I'm just happy to share the cage with him and say that I fought one of the very best to have ever fought in One Championship.
January 28th, 165, number 3 versus number 1 featherweight division title
Got this.
contention. It's gonna be
Look at this.
phenomenal,
Look at this in
man.
the back.
What you got?
I don't know if you can read it in the back.
Strap season.
What does it say there?
There you go. Strap season.
That's the one, man.
There you go.